Roger Simpson. All right, it's no secret that Belzoni is without a chief of police. First of all, let's talk a little bit about why you left.
Well, I try to sugarcoat it and try to always have a smiling face, but deep down, I was just getting no help, no support or nothing from my city board.
Now, it was said that the police department needs to be upgraded. Some people, some people are saying that the place was vandalized the other night. We do have a picture of a door that looks very antiquated. Seems like the whole place needs to be updated. One person commented and said that it looked abandoned. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, when I first took over as chief of police, and my assistant Wilson, which was already there, and he was trying to get the money so we can upgrade the police department. But we had a few aldermen decided we don't need. They didn't not allowed to get the money. I mean, you got mold in that building. The building need to be just torn down. And you see, that just the only look when you saw the back door. That's just garbage.
Now, explain to us what door that is actually.
There used to be a fire station. There was a fire truck used to be.
Okay.
There used to be a fire station. So that's the door up under the canopy that I go in.
That leads into
the police station, and then directly it's into my office.
Okay. Now, also, there's a curfew. And I pray that there's nothing that's going to happen tonight. I pray that there's nothing that's going to happen after 12 midnight. What do you say about the temperature, gauging the temperature of the entire Humphreys County?
Sheriff William Bruce, I think he's doing an outstanding job of what he's working with. But as far as the city is concerned, ma'am, I don't see no curfew in place.
I'm told MBI was probably on the premises of the police department today.
Okay.
Do you think that outside agencies will have to come in and serve warrants if possible?
They need to tell that
like the U.S. Marshals maybe.
Yeah. They need to really just investigate that whole board, because a lot of discrepancies and a lot of illegalities and all that's going on up there. But it needs to be a whole shakedown. Because
now, and speaking of that, you used the word that took the whole state by storm, megalomaniacal. You used the word megalomaniacal. What does that really mean?
That means an overconfident person think they know everything, think ain't nothing can be said, so they can be wrong. Everybody else is wrong but them. Well, a few people on the board like that.
Okay.
I mean, I can't question that on all of them, but a few of them on the board think they untouchable. I mean, they can't be touched. And that's sad. That's really sad.
Yeah.
When you talking about the growth of this town, that y'all ain't trying to help even make it grow.
Let me ask you something, because I did break down the budget on Delta SIP. For the new incoming year, there is a 6-figure budget, and public safety is at the top of the list.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm told that the cars are outdated, antiquated, that you only have a few, and the police cars that you purchased for $1 from like a local, nearby agency.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about, do you think Shad White will come in and try to figure out what is going on with this money?
Well, Shad, what I do is call me and talk to me. And I'm getting first-hand knowledge. Just call me and come talk to me, because it didn't make no sense. I had to go way to Indianola to beg them for 3 cars which had over 170,000 miles on, when I had the budget that me and my assistant chief Wilson had already budgeted for 3 brand new cars.
Well, what did the cars look like prior to you going to the Indianola people agency?
Oh, they were just trash, number trash. We really had number those 2 Durangos.
What year model would you say that is?
Those Durangos are 2003s. We had 2 Chargers that were 2010s. And we had a Taurus that wasn't even working. We had a regular truck, a blue truck. It was just garbage. All that should have been in the junkyard.
All right, let's talk about cameras. Why? Now, I'm told by a lot of people that there are no cameras at that police station.
I've been begging. I done talked to them numerous of times in the board meeting about getting cameras around the police station, around City Hall, around the city, especially in the high crime areas. I got that concept from Chief Simpson in Indianola. So
I'm understanding, based on the budget that I went over, there is money in the budget for cars and things like that.
We are allocated for all that.
What about the
mics, radios.
The radio.
We had got those radios out of a letter, begging the public, mass communication in Jackson to get the radio. They wouldn't even buy radios. They wouldn't even buy us no radios.
So talk about the Catfish Festival.
Well, everybody, 98% of the people said that the Catfish Festival went off outstanding. I mean, last year when the Catfish Festival, we didn't even have radio. We had 2 radios. We had 10,000 people in this town. You know, they was just setting people up for failure. So me and my assistant Wilson got together. He got a lot of intel on the people down in Jackson, and went and begging. He was begging these people for we need radios. We need radios, and he gave us the radios. Now we allocated them some to the sheriff department, some to Morehead PD, but we made sure that everybody with the city of Belzoni got a radio and walkie-talkie.
What's next? Can you see yourself going back to Belzoni?
No. They done scarred me for life. No. I want to thank them. I want to thank the citizens of Belzoni for giving me an opportunity for being the chief of police. And I kind of needed that. I kind of needed that to show them that I still can be a chief.
Were you being paid to serve in the capacity of a chief fully?
Well, no, not even. I mean, they gave everybody a raise but me. They gave every public works, the water department, everybody, the fire department, everybody got a raise but me.
Talk a little bit about your educational background. We do know that you went to Valley State, and you also have a master's degree.
Yes, ma'am.
Where'd you get your master's degree?
I got my master's degree from Delta State in criminology. I was number 3 in my class with a 3.9 GPA. But I don't try to brag on that. I don't try to brag on my accolades or anything like that. I just try to do my job. And like every person know me in Belzoni, I'm just straightforward. I'm by the book. I ain't for no games. And I'm not going to be about any games. But I just want that city to grow.
When you were there, were you interacting as it relates to community policing with the elderly? Were you out there doing things that a chief, really, you wouldn't see a chief doing? A chief is more of an admin figure, right?
You know, me and my assistant Chief Wilson, we used to always have falling out about, listen, Simpson, you the chief, man, you're not an officer, but that's my heart. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I mingle with the public, and that's what I did. And I think I had grown a good rapport with the community and trying to get this stuff straightened out. But as I said, that the board that I had just wasn't with that. They wanted to see me fail, but I can't fail. I don't know how to fail.
Why were you in executive session, or no, let me rephrase that. Why did they feel it necessary for you to always have a meeting after the meeting when you all did the board?
You know, I mean,
and are those meetings recorded? I try not
to point fingers at folks. I really do, and it's hard for me not to point fingers. I ain't gonna point no finger, but a few aldermen decided they wanted to have me in executive session every board meeting.
That's a bit much.
Every board meeting.
I have never heard of.
Nobody's never heard of it.
Chief Marcus Turner having to be an executive, or Simpson, and he's been through a lot since he's been in the Delta.
Yes, ma'am.
Never heard of him having to be in an executive session every time the
I was
board
in
meeting.
executive session from March until May when I resigned.
How did that make you feel?
That's a whole year.
How did that make you feel?
I mean, it kind of like, it just like, you know, you don't want me here, but you know, I mean, for what reason? You could never give me, I have never had a written, I never had a write-up, I ain't never had a verbal one, I never had nothing, but did my job.
But it sounds like micromanaging based on what you're saying to the Mike magazine.
Just like I'm saying, I don't want to call no names. I mean, I don't want to point fingers or anything like that, but a few aldermen decided they wanted to try to micromanage me. You know.
Now let me ask you this, because we do know there's a statute that says that you're not supposed to interact with the day-to-day business.
They was doing that. They involved themselves with the day-to-day operation of the police department.
Which is Now, these are strong allegations again, and there's a statute out there that, you can bring aldermen up on if there's an investigation done.
Well, if
And
they
you're
need to do
not
an investigation, they tell them to come see me, because they were dealing with the day-to-day operation, which that's the mayor department, but they were dealing with the day-to-day operation with the city.
Let me ask you something. What do you perceive that they wanted from you?
Be a yes sir, man. And that's just not me.
What does the chief do?
The chief deal with the day-to-day operations of the city. And that's what I was doing, dealing with the day-to-day operations of the city.
Are you to answer to the alderman at any point?
No, and we addressed, I guess they got mad at me at the board meeting. I said, I don't answer to y'all, I answer to the mayor. That's my day-to-day supervisor. I said, I don't have to answer y'all until we come in this board meeting. And so they decided to have me in every executive session at the board meeting.
From what month to when?
From March of 24 to May the 6th of 25. One whole year. I stayed in the executive session.
No raise.
No raise.
Other people got a raise.
Other people got a raise. Oh, they just didn't even bring it up. And I asked one of the aldermen, I said, why I didn't get no raise? Well, your raise got when you got the chief job. That ain't got nothing to do with me having a raise.
How long were you in Belzoni? Serving in the capacity of a chief?
A year and 3 months.
And would you go back?
No, ma'am. I love Belzoni. I love the people of Belzoni. I promise I love the people of Belzoni. Because I taught school down there, too. I'm also a certified school teacher. Mm-hmm. So I taught school down there.
It's a lot of layers to you. When I think about Roger Simpson, it's like pulling back the layers of an onion. And you never get to the bottom. You have to actually cut the onion to go on and get down
to the core.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
But speaking to Roger Simpson, I know that you have gone through a lot since you've been there. But again, with your background, we do know that you never have to worry about a job.
No. I mean, I had a gentleman call me and said, listen, Chief, I got two job offers. I mean, job offers just falling out of the sky. I mean, because they saw the work that I did. They saw the work that I put in when I was in Belzoni.
Well, I spoke to one of your colleagues who serves in the capacity of a sheriff. Mm-hmm. And he was your opponent at one point.
Yes, ma'am.
And said that boy was doing his job.
Yes, ma'am.
Those were the words to me at the Mike magazine.
Yes, ma'am.
That boy was doing his job. And so people still speak highly of you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know it might be some people who
you got them disgruntled people because, everybody, you can't get them all. You can't get them all. Wasn't nobody perfect but one person, that's Jesus Christ.
I try to deal with reality, right? But when we're talking about people who suffer from any type of mania, they are fooling themselves. And I got this guy who's going to break this thing down to you for those who are trying to figure out what this whole shebang is going on. But I got to play this one more time. Belzoni, I hope y'all sitting in with your paper and your pencil, because you need to write this down. From the Rudy down to the Tootie.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere, friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. A reading rainbow.
All right, now we getting ready to go in class. So class is now in session. And what I'm going to need everybody to do is calm down, get out your feelings. Go and get your alderman, your favorite alderman. Tell him to get in here. Go get your favorite preacher. Go get your favorite business owner. Tell them to come on, cause class in session. Cause we gonna all figure out what this word means. How you doing, Miss Peggy Clark? We don't take it for granted. Thank you for weighing in on the topic. And Miss Mary Gates. Thank you. Now class is in session. Class is in session.
Hi there, students. Megalomania. A noun, an uncountable noun, so not a megalomania. And a megalomaniac, this is the person. and I guess you could have the adjective megalomaniacal, I suppose. Okay, let's see. A megalomaniac is a person who desires power and control above all else. They think they're much more important and much more powerful than they really are. Okay, so they accused me of being a megalomaniac. I think not. Okay, so a megalomaniac, somebody who has an obsessive desire for power. Yeah, they suffer from delusions of their own importance. Okay, so yeah, they have characteristics of megalomania. Yeah, they want to look grandiose and great and important. They feel omnipotent. This is a mental illness. This is a delusion. This clearly is talking about some sort of narcissistic character. Yeah, it's an obsession for power and wealth, a passion for enormous schemes. So I guess you might say that Napoleon or Hitler or Stalin or Mao Zedong were megalomaniacs. Yeah, maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but I think megalomania is one of the things that drove them to pursue their goal of ruling the world. So let's see, what are the characteristics of a megalomaniac? Firstly, they think they are essential. The world can't get by without them. They're able to solve any problem, and they are indestructible. They're manipulative. They are all powerful. They don't admit their mistakes. Yeah, these people who never say sorry. Yeah, they are narcissists. They are only worried about what is good for them. Yeah, they have this ideal image of themselves, and they're also very sensitive to other people's reactions. Yeah, and they're also very vain as well. Okay, they think a megalomaniac thinks they're wonderful, but the major point is they have this obsession to become extravagant, to become powerful, to become wealthy. They have this idea of grandiose schemes, to do things on a very, very grand scale. Yeah, so stop thinking like a megalomaniac and come down to earth. Yeah, stop believing that you are much more important than you really are.